Welcome, everyone, to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host, Albert Sita. Thank you all for tuning in this week, whether you're listening to us on audio format, wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, or Podomatic, or if you're watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Got a lot to talk about this week in the world of mixed martial arts and professional wrestling. I kind of felt like this week MMA is back with the UFC 266.
I felt like everything was back. I felt very overwhelmed with entertainment.
And boxing as well, right?
Boxing, MMA, wrestling, football. Media day for basketball was today. I was very overwhelmed with the Dodgers and the Giants things getting closer. I mean, it's if you had nothing to watch, man, you must not like anything.
Yeah, you must just be like just weird and this weird living under a rock. Especially for the MMA and UFC, it kind of felt like the UFC had a couple fight nights that weren't really significant in terms of like you know needle movers.
It didn't have the bite power.
Yeah, but this one, UFC 266, a lot of meat and potatoes, or as you're hip with TikTok, as our boy Adam Driver would say, good soup. Have you seen that trend?
No.
I guess it's from the on the girls show. Like he's randomly in a cafe.
I'm Driver?
Yeah, and the actor that he is takes a sip of soup and just says, good soup.
Good old Adam Driver.
And then people are like making like TikToks with it. So UFC 266.
Good soup.
Good soup. Also, AEW keeps lighting the professional world on fire with Rampage. We'll talk about that. Or the Grand Slam.
Yeah, Grand Slam.
Grand Slam Rampage. Or
Two-day event.
Grand Slam Dynamite.
2 day, 4 hours total.
Yeah, and the WWE is trying to keep up with their Extreme Rules and their changes they make during the television show. So, a lot to talk about, man. But how you doing on your fantasy football team? We're giving people updates on that one.
I'm 50-50 right now. The good thing is in the leagues that matter, I am somewhat winning.
No offense to Eric.
Eric, I know you're listening. I beat his ass this week in one of the leagues that does matter. So take that, Eric. Thank you for the W.
So you're in Eric's league that's kind of more casual.
Yeah, it's a casual
league. You and Eric are also in our friend Eric. In
a serious league.
And you beat him in that one.
And I beat him in that one.
Oh, man.
So, Eric, shout out to you, bro.
This week's show is brought to you by Foxhound Fuel. Train hard, stay sharp with 1, 2, or even all 3 of their workout formulas. They got a ready pre-workout, a hydration during workout, and a recovery post-workout formula here. All 3 have 3 different flavors, so you're not drinking the same flavor 3 times in a row. All natural, no jittery feeling, good ingredients, no artificial sweeteners, sugars, anything like that. It's just good stuff. Foxhound Fuel, man, and they're hustling out there. If you follow them on Instagram at Foxhound Fuel, they're everywhere. They're at gyms, tournaments.
Awesome.
Anything with combat sports related, they're there. They're getting the word out. If you go to foxhoundfuel.com, use promo code 5MMA, the number 5MMA, for 25% off your order. That helps them out, helps us out by letting them know we sent you and you heard about them on our podcast or our social media platforms. That's foxhoundfuel.com, promo code 5MMA. And a huge thank you to Wildbar, one of our other sponsors. Wildbar got 3 great energy, nutrition dense bars, more than a protein bar. It's clean energy for you for your daily grind. If you want to get a snacky before your training, after training, they got 3 great flavors: cherry, blueberry, and pineapple. All 3 of them are infused with hemp hearts, so it's all natural ingredients you can pronounce. Again, no artificials, anything like that. Go to wildbar.co, enter promo code 5ROUNDMMA. That's FIVE round MMA, the number 15, 5 round MMA 15 for 15% off your order. Again, lets us know let them know that we sent you. Helps them out, helps us out, help yourself out, get some clean energy, some clean food in your system. Wild Bar, Foxhound Fuel, Albert Sita. Let's get started with round number 1, shall we? Here, UFC 266 took place this past Saturday. Main event, Volkanowski versus Ortega, the climax of the Ultimate Fighter season. Which I didn't really, I kind of fell off the grid.
Yes, I think it's the first 4 episodes bangers, and then it got kind of dull after that. And then, you know what it is? I feel like the coaches bring you into the show. The coaches is what drives the initial show. But then it's up to the Ultimate Fighter fighters to kind of keep you.
Personalities.
Yeah. And I don't know. I maybe I didn't relate to none of the fighters. Maybe the fighter stories weren't that intriguing to me. That, you know, you like to pick your horse and then you kind of go for that guy the whole season. I didn't really get any standouts, at least for me. And yeah, I ended up watching I think 8 out of the 10. And then I just looked up who won and stuff like that. But yeah. Not a great season.
The kind of formula from that is that hopefully the coaches built some animosity towards each other and that leads to the fight, some more anticipation.
Yeah.
I think even without the Ultimate Fighter, there was anticipation for this fight.
There have been some underlining beef regardless of the show or not.
Yeah, Ortega, he's a name in the sport. Dude's in movies now. Good-looking dude. The Modelo spokesman. Volkanowski, I think, still walks around with his chip on his sholdder. Could be
I mean, when you lose twice to Max Holloway but get declared the winner, you would walk around with the chip.
So I think Volkanowski said that Ortega was fake and walks around like very pretentious and spoiled. But it's kind of focused on the main event first here when we work our way down. Volkanowski wins a 5-round decision. You had it differently.
I had a split draw, bro.
A split draw.
Yeah, like in all honesty,
those submissions, submissions from
Ortega.
Go ahead and
comment below and
tell me wrong.
Tell me wrong because in all honesty, I don't think no one could. That first round, I feel Brian Ortega had more significant strikes and cleaner shots than Alexander. So I give him round 1. Look, round 3, this is the part that blows my mind. Ortega almost finished him twice. Took up most of the round. I get how the round finished, but if I almost beat someone twice and it takes up most of the round, how do I lose that round?
Those submissions were deep. Man.
It does not make any sense how I lose that round. So that's 2 rounds right there, right? And then let's fast forward away to round number 5, where I feel like Ortega got his second win, and we saw him do the most significant damage we saw the whole fight. So I give him the 5th round. That's 3 rounds. And, okay, let's say maybe somewhere along the line you want to give a 10-8 to Alexander, or maybe that 3rd round, because he did most of the work, but at the end it didn't finish so well. Maybe that one's a tied wrong. The point is, to me, it was closer to a split decision draw than anything. And if Alexander won, he won by slightly, bro.
Not unanimous.
Go watch the fight first before you comment.
Turn off the commentary.
Yeah. I don't want to hear you guys slobbing all over the comments before you watch the fight. All right, break it down for me.
Yeah, well, now the kind of the post narrative now is Volkanowski's 10 fight win streak.
Yeah,
probably recognized now. Do you recognize me now as
No.
a legit champion?
No.
For Ortega,
the answer is no.
For Ortega, tough as nails, tough as dirt, doesn't give up.
My boy's from East LA.
Exactly.
What else did I expect?
That's my point, though. That's now 2-0 or 0-2 now in these title fights. He got picked apart by Max Holloway. Didn't give up, but still was tough. Came away looking a little more scarred now. Hopefully, get some more Hollywood roles with this one. But 0-2 in title shots. Do you see him being a future champion anytime soon? Or
100%.
Volkanowski, or run it back with Volkanowski?
100%. People forget for the longest time he didn't. I don't want to say it this way because I don't want to disrespect, but he didn't have a legit striking coach for the longest of his career. Just recently did he switch up his camp, and just recently did we start seeing flashes of greatness when it came to his striking. So with that said, my boy only needs a couple more rounds in him, and I think he got it. I mean, that 5th round, I think it showed that if he would have just gotten that second one a little bit earlier, maybe he could have adjusted and put on the gas a little bit more. I honestly think he's still maybe 1 year away from capturing that gold. I think Alexander and Max Holloway have unfinished business, so I would rather see that first anyways.
For Volkanowski, I mean, like, somehow McGregor was called. It was a weird, like, post-fight.
Yeah.
McGregor was in there. Henry Cejudo was, like, in the mix.
I heard everybody but Max.
Right.
Which rubs me the wrong way, bro. It annoys me beyond belief for him. I don't like when fighters squeeze a win and then they try to just wash your hands with it and move on. Bro, if you didn't knock them out, choke them out, you got it. They're still contenders.
I'm a little biased.
Take them out, bro.
I still think Max Holloway is one of the best fighters in the world.
Dude, we didn't even go over the whole card.
We're going to have to go long on this one. I know that we always have 5 minutes, but we just do it anyway. Right. So, co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko.
Did what Valentina does. Dominant champion.
I was surprised Lauren Murphy went 4 rounds. Credit to her.
What I'm about to say, it may not be I might get some flack for it. But if there's any time to make a women versus a guy, this is the time, bro. Dude, tell me you don't want to see just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm saying
I don't want to see
you didn't want to entertain the thought. Henry Cejudo versus Valentina.
Oh my God.
Not even a little.
In the UFC or like in Triller?
Nah, we're talking about UFC.
For
Just
all
a
the
little.
gold.
Just a little. Aren't you intrigued? Just a little.
No comment.
Okay. But Valentina, the fact that I even bring up Henry Cejudo's name shows you
There's
how
nobody else
dominant
out
this
there.
champion is right
she
now.
called out Nunez again, so we'll see.
That's an interesting matchup. I have Valentina winning that fight, so I don't mind
Third
them
time
winning
could be the charm.
back. It would obviously have to be 135 and not her championship weight.
Yeah, Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lott confused me very much. People were saying this is a great fight. Nick Diaz is a true shoulder. True soldier.
When I see these fights,
I don't know.
and then I see what people say, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm the dumb one. Like I honestly feel like, am I stupid? Do I not? I've been watching fighting the last 10 years, and I don't know crap.
Yeah,
because that's how I felt. It literally felt like Nick Diaz was putting on the slowest motion combos I ever seen in my life. I saw Robbie Lawler doing absolutely no head movement.
There's this bias that
one guy toughed out the other guy.
if this was on a Bellator card, people would talk crap about it left and right. Once it was announced, people would talk crap about it.
And then,
UFC,
look,
and
injury, whatever the reason was that Nick Diaz quit. At the end of the day, bro, he quit. So I don't understand. But yet when Connor taps to a rear naked choke, all of a sudden like it's good to bash that fool. It's like that was a legit move.
Nick Diaz is a legend. Usman said he should keep fighting.
Look,
Usman wants to win once so he can get that title. Have him fight for the title.
Yeah,
get a big cash out.
I get it. I freaking love brawls like anybody else. When it's two guys going at it and they're just viciously trying to kill each other. I get it.
Brandon Moreno, Debson figured it out the first match, right?
For somehow I saw like Anderson Silva bout GSP. Usman, like I didn't see that. That at least that's not what I saw. Was it entertaining? Sure.
Yeah. Curtis Blades walks away with a decision. He
boring.
Keeps
another boring match.
Yeah, I had Rosenstruck, but Curtis Blades keeps himself semi-relevant in the heavyweight division. I don't think he's...
Well, this heavyweight division, you always want one win away from being a contender. So
Curtis Blades, but I don't see him on the marquee anywhere. I don't think the UFC even wants to. They'll go out and rather get Brock Lesnar a title shot before they get Curtis Blades.
I 100%
it sucks,
agree with
but
that.
that's what it is. Jessica Andrade finishes Cynthia Calvillo, which I think was maybe
my girl Cynthia too. Dog, I thought she had it.
Might have been a little too much too soon for Cynthia, and also proves that.
Hey, but
this flyweight division, it's Valentina,
and then everybody else,
Jessica, and then everybody else.
Yeah,
because Jessica Andrade is a hell of a gatekeeper in this division. Yeah, and it sucks.
But you know what? At the end of the day, people like Cynthia. You gotta know where they're at. Yeah. Now you kind of know where they're at. Maybe she's still 2 fights away from again challenging for the belt. Yeah. So in a way, like it's a good fight either way. It keeps Jessica still on the hunt, and so if they can't do the Amanda Nunes fight, you got to run back with Jessica. No, you have to.
Yeah. All right. And overall, great card. I liked it.
Yeah.
Again, we're off. UFC's off a little bit.
Good soup, like you said.
Good soup. UFC's back. I feel like the UFC's back now. Hopefully, they kind of finish out the year strong. UFC 266. We're going to take a small break, come back with round number 2, and Mr. Jones is at it again. Jon Jones cannot stay out of trouble. We'll talk about that coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 2. Albertita, just when you think Mr. Jon Jones has cleaned up, is on that straight and narrow path. The night of the UFC Hall of Fame ceremony, where he was inducted for
the fight with Alexander Gustafsson
for the fight thing, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna come talking about how he's working his way up to 270 because he wants to cut down to 265. He looked bigger. He looked like he is gonna be one of the giants in the heavyweight division. I thought we were gonna talk about that today, but then news broke the next day that he was arrested for misdemeanor domestic violence in Las Vegas. Dana White said he wasn't even surprised. He even said, we can't even bring this guy to Vegas. It's not good for him. Your thoughts real quick. Is he going to... Dana White didn't say anything about, it's done for him.
Because it's not.
It's not. But at this point, do you even give him your championship? Do you even put him on the poster anymore? Can the UFC even trust this guy to be a sell aside from people just wanting to see him hopefully get beat up? And is that what it is now? Hey, come potentially buy this pay-per-view to see Jon Jones get knocked out. Is that his selling point now?
It's been Floyd Mayweather's selling point for the last like 10 of his fights.
Yeah.
So there is a market for that. I hate to kick a man when he's down, but since day one, I have never really been a Jon Jones fan, and this is why. I think the guy always came out as being fake. I felt that there was a lot of fakeness that reeked out of him. And what I mean by that is this almost wannabe Captain America, John Cena type of Tom Brady feels he was trying to give out, but they seem not genuine.
Fake smiles,
you know, and he will always do little jabs at his opponents, but then right away say something that, you know, Captain America would say or John Cena, you know. And I just don't like it when, you know, if you are who you are, then be who you are, bro. I think that's when people really accept you. I mean, that's why I think Conor has so much fans. I mean, he just is who he is. And a lot of fighters
the
Diaz brothers. That's the phenomenon behind the Diaz brothers. I think that's generally who they are. They don't give a fuck. They'll fight on a second's notice, and you see that they're not just saying it. They're about it.
Yeah.
Jon Jones always seemed fake to me.
Well, now he's about it now. He's about that life
yeah,
now.
But what I'm trying to get at is, in a way, now that's the selling point, like we were saying. Floyd Mayweather is a very hated fighter. He does have some true fans. I don't know. I mean, yeah, because he's an amazing boxer, just like Jon Jones.
Or they go to his business mind. Like, as a businessman, this guy's someone to look up to. As a person, probably not.
Let's keep it real. Just like Jake Paul, everybody just wants to see these guys lose in a vicious way, not just like taking out.
Yeah.
They want these guys to viciously lose. And in all honesty, every single time Jon Jones goes up against someone, I'm usually going for the other guy.
Especially in heavyweight now, there's a chance one punch can knock you guys.
Yeah, especially in the heavyweight division.
So, I mean, now does he come back now and get a main event spot? Co-main event spot?
100%.
Not a title shot right away.
100%. If anything, it just gives Jon Jones another black eye to his legacy. One of the hard things about praising Mike Tyson is the baggage that comes with praising Mike Tyson, which is outside of the ring things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't so controversial, I think Mike Tyson will be thrown, the name and amazing number one will be thrown out more often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think no one can argue and say Mike Tyson isn't a legend, wasn't one of the greatest of all time. It's just, it's not, how can I say, it's not something you can say without adding the baggage to it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tom Brady. There's only a handful of people. I feel GSP, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
These type of athletes. And
then for a sport that has the reputation it did, you know, mixed martial arts, it was called human cockfighting by members of the Senate long ago. And for somebody who's as talented as Jones, who could have been that star, that person to really be the face of the UFC, the face of the sport. And he had Gatorade, he had Nike. He could have been doing these Subway commercials. It could have been Serena Williams, Tom Brady,
he could have been right
Steph Curry, and Jon Jones.
Yeah, he used to be next to Steph Curry right there.
But this guy, and to see him...
see, that's what he hurts. Honestly, he's not hurting the UFC. He's not hurting main eventing a pay-per-view. That's what he's really hurting. Let's keep it real. I think that there's still going to be fights to be made with Jones. He's still going to have big pay-per-view numbers. But guess what? I don't think Gatorade's going to be knocking on the door. I don't think Nike's going to be knocking at the door. That's truly what he's hurting.
You take your Venom money and get out of here. Yeah, can't wait for his 30 to come out in a couple years.
Oh, man, his 30-30 is going to be on fire.
10-parter.
Especially if they do the nitty-gritty one.
All right, that's it for round number 2. We're going to stick with mixed martial arts here and talk about Aljamain Sterling pulling out a fight. Or some said he was hurt. Some say he was scheduled too soon, according to him. So we'll get to that bottom of that coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 3. We're talking about another fighter's legacy, trying to get his legacy up and going. But Aljamain Sterling cannot catch or break the Funk Master. How we won the title. It was an illegal knee.
Yeah.
For Peter Yan. Been hurt since. They wanted to run it back right away. He had neck surgery. We were psyched. Announced that he was supposed to fight in October, UFC 267. Run it back. For Aljamain Sterling, opportunity to shut the haters up for Peter Yan and get his rematch to prove that he is the rightful champion. Mm-hmm. But almost as quickly as it was announced, it was reported that Aljamain Sterling, hey, I'm not going to be ready for that fight. At first, it was hurt. He's hurt. I'm hurt. I can't fight. I'm thinking this dude's the Nico Montano of the division. Ooh. I'm going to win the championship, and all of a sudden, I'm going to get hurt every time. I'm going to announce a fight. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make weight. And I'm, not going to give any real reason why. Not that we deserve one, but still, this was his run is going that way. But he came out recently on social media and said, "Nah, I'm gonna tell my story here. I'm not hurt. I'm still training. I'm still recovering. When I do a hard training session, I still got pain on my neck. My surgeon said it's because my nerves are still healing from my neck surgery." He said that he wanted the fight with Peter to be in December. UFC push up to October. Now he's looking like the bad guy here. Your thoughts on the UFC does this a lot.
Yeah.
Most recently, not on such a higher stakes, but our boy, the real estate agent, Alain Kita said, "Hey, they announced a Bobby Green fight without even contacting me first. Now I got to agree to it because my name's out there."
Yeah.
He's all, "Maybe we'll get the numbers right," but he's all, "I hate when they do that. As it means it's a regular occurrence here." So your thoughts on this real quick, and the UFC doing shady business doings.
Yeah. So
for the Funk Master,
right off the bat, I don't understand how such a huge company. We're not talking about a little small company. We're talking about the
world's biggest
mixed martial arts company has these type of communication problems. It sounds to me that they have a very dumb front office, bro. And it just doesn't make sense to me how anything gets out without approval. Especially the guy that's in the damn poster, right?
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense. Even the whole it's not as deep as this one, but even the whole Nagano interim debacle blew my mind. Like, if he said he never saw it, whatever. They said they contacted his management team. His management team said no, and I don't know. But the problem is, why is there even a communication problem here? This is mind-boggling to me. They need to clean the front office up big time. Second of all, it rubs me the wrong way when the fighter has to take the heat, right? At the end of the day, UFC is the one making the most money. UFC is the one that has the long-lasting career. UFC is the one ultimately benefiting.
They get the revenue, the gate.
You got these fighters busting their ass in training and then fighting, and then they got to take the heat too. So that kind of rubs me the wrong way. Aljamain Sterling shouldn't have to defend himself. UFC should be on front and be like, "Hey, you know what? Hey, one thing we didn't clear was with his doctor, and after advisement of his doctor, it is better that we postpone the fight or postpone any matchups with Aljamain Sterling." Where's UFC in this?
Yeah,
UFC wasn't there for Francis
before they
Ngannou.
announced it. Yeah,
it annoys me that we have to wait for a press conference and hope that one of the usual press guys there asks the question to Dana White so we can get somewhat of an answer. They shouldn't be like that. Imagine the NFL, NHL, NBA doing this. Letting their players take heat over stupid stuff like this.
And I've been in those press conferences, and sometimes, depending on who you are, you don't want to ask this question because guess what? Revoked. You're out of here. Not for the next one.
That's what I'm saying. So not sometimes we get the questions that the fans want to hear answered, but there's times that you're like, why didn't he ask that? Like, why has nobody asked about Nick Diaz's injury? I don't think nobody's allowed to ask about Nick Diaz's injury.
Yeah.
So it just annoys me that the fighters take the heat over this. It seems like a miscommunication, and if anyone takes the heat, it's UFC in their front office.
Yeah.
And maybe this is what happens when you sell out and you have some company that likes to play Monopoly and not really care about the product. This is what happens.
Fighters are just little figures, not real people, right?
I'm just a multi-billionaire. What do I care?
Yeah, well, credit to ESPN and Brett Okamoto for getting Sterling's side out there. But again, it's sort of becoming like a he said, she said. Yeah, but he said, they said type of thing, right?
And this is your champion. Why is Sterling even in this situation? Yeah. He shouldn't have to defend himself. UFC should not only have his back, UFC should release a statement first. The only time they should take heat is if it's they're 100% full of shit. You know, because we've heard of those fighters too. That what do you mean they didn't offer something? Then you got the DMs coming out like, "Hey man, he asked for it. He's just backing out."
Yeah, or Dana White said, "Nope, you call me. We had
yeah,
it,
exactly."
Out, so
that's a whole different story.
Yeah, so hope recovery for Aljamain. I wanted to see that fight back, dude. Like I said, the Funkmaster was on. He deserved that title shot. The way it ended, and people were, how people were kind of saying he didn't really, he was faking it or whatever.
It's almost like he takes 2 losses now.
Yeah, exactly. And Peter Yan's super frustrated, so I can understand it. But let's December, hopefully get that fight going. So that's it for round number 3. We're gonna take a small break, come back and enter the championship rounds. We're gonna switch gears, talk about professional wrestling. A lot of stuff going on, AEW, WWE. So we're gonna talk about that. Coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time to enter the championship rounds here, Albert. We're going to talk about AEW Grand Slam, Wednesday night Dynamite, Friday night Rampage, which will go down in the history books as the greatest television program in the history of television, the greatest wrestling program in the history of wrestling, the greatest crowd in the history of live crowds, whether it be concert, professional wrestling, sports, anything like that. It's the greatest of everything. All time happened on Wednesday night. Am I exaggerating or is that the truth?
No. After the first match, it then turned out to be not that.
Okay.
So
it was live in New York, Arthur Ashe Stadium, 20,000 people. Wonder if Dave Meltzer's going to question that live attendance.
I know. I wonder if he's going to get down to the nitty gritty of how many tickets were given out.
I love you, Dave. You know I love you, but come on, we got to play it square here.
All right, so let me get all the negative stuff out of the way because there's a lot of positives to talk about here. The first negative,
you're gonna be the heel, okay?
I'm gonna do a character switch on you.
Take my heat, bro.
I'm gonna be a heel, but don't worry, I'll get the crowd back on me real quick.
Don't take my heat.
First off, it was the opening match. I'm okay with big profile matches being first because you have to kind of draw in the audience, but then. The tough part is the other matches kind of have to keep the audience there. Mm-hmm. The problem here is you got probably, if not the biggest match you can do this whole year. And you're going to have people follow that? That's tough, bro. That's super tough. So they should have taken that into consideration. I get it. All I had to see was that was the opening match, and I was going 100 miles per hour on the streets. Mm-hmm. I can't miss this match. So I get that, but I question if it was the right thing to do.
The booking.
That's right. I just question that, right? Okay. The other thing was Rampage was then pre-taped because all the matches happened on Wednesday. Spoilers did go out. And I wasn't too... Even though there wasn't much I was really looking forward to in Rampage, it still kind of killed the vibe.
Yeah. But isn't that fair? I can go when Impact... take 4 weeks of shows. I could go and read them all. The dirt sheets didn't have no problem doing that back in the day. Or when SmackDown was taped, they had no problem doing that.
I just feel that Rampage,
NXT?
They should somehow figure out how to do Rampage live, is what I was trying to get at.
They can afford it.
But see, then they should be, I think then the ratings that they get, they shouldn't be shot.
They deserve.
Yeah. So anyways, now we got the negative stuff out of the way. Time for pot. First of all, I lost my voice on that freaking match. That thing was incredible. All right. When the crowd pops like that on the first tie up, it's magic. And what I mean by that is there's more to this match than just a great match. When 2 wrestlers tie up and it gets a pop, bro. There's only been a few times I've seen that. And to me, that's a magical thing when it comes to this business. When the tie-up is we're finally, let's go. So to me, that's something special. That's something magical in this industry. And I popped like crazy in my living room. Incredible match. And Alex might bury me here, but I'm going to tell you right now, that was a smart finish.
Nope.
That was a smart finish. Let me tell you why, and then you can cut me off.
It's a mark finish.
You can cut me off.
Mark finish.
Obviously, this wasn't for the belt. Right?
Then why have it?
Let's set up something bigger for the belt, which I think they're going to lead to an Iron Man match for the belt. And that's where I think this is ultimately heading.
I got goosebumps when you said that because, yeah.
And the reason why I do it now is why not, bro? You know, WWE could have had all these amazing matches because if you were to look at the roster, they could have had some killer banger matches, but they never put those guys together.
Okay.
Right? The fact that they even have on the roster the UK Walter and not have figure it out how to make it just to make a match. I'll be like, fine, Walter, don't join the roster.
Walter
but Extreme Rules, mother chunkers, you better come in. He came to NXT. So, anyways, why not?
You try telling Walter what to do.
Is it now?
Okay. So
you can bury me now.
No, first of all,
but bury me softly, brother.
I am wearing a Kenny Omega shirt, an AEW Kenny Omega shirt. I am a mark for Kenny.
You must be stupid if you don't think Kenny's the greatest. That's
I am a mark for Bryan Danielson. Okay. I remember his last PWG show before he signed with WWE. We were there, tears in my eyes, as Ric Flair would say. But this, we saw in the first match, this draw. That was in for the belt was just a 50-50 booking. And I think...
There was no winner. How's it 50-50 booking?
Exactly. 50-50. Nobody lost, nobody wins.
50-50. You got to win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
50-50 booking right in your face and you refuse to acknowledge it. And for the fact this wasn't for the title...
well, there's a ranking system, bro.
Don't
bury the ranking system, bro.
People are talking crap about the WWE's championship contenders
Here in AEW, we have a ranking system, bro.
No.
You just don't come here and get fed. You got to go up the line, bro.
The finish for sure got me. It should have been a 5-star, but the finish was bad. But this goes to the conversation we're having to where that Tony Khan is hiding his shortcomings as a booker, as a storyteller, by just having great matches.
I would agree with that statement.
And you said that WWE had all these talented wrestlers.
Yep.
They can go out and do what PWG does and just book all these great matches because anywhere you go in any promotion, Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, it's going to be a 5-star match no matter what.
Yeah.
But what's the story behind it? Mm-hmm. Again,
everything
is long-term story, but this is the first one. I mean, they had to do it because they had Arthur Ashe. I get it.
It's going to lead up to the Iron Man match. Trust me.
Mike, I hope so. Oh my God. If you say that again, match is amazing. Super talented guys. My criticism, mostly everything with the AEW is the storytelling and the booking.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And for me, when that bell rang and I heard Justin Roberts say, 5 minutes left or a minute left, I was like, they're going with the draw. I knew it right away.
Oh, I knew it was, honestly, I knew it was a draw when it was booked.
What happened to this ranking system to where wins and losses matter? But okay.
Well, yeah, now we both have a draw, bro.
But then, and to me, Kenny's being not booked very well on AEW television. He lost to Christian Cage on the first Rampage. Now it's a draw here.
They had to drop the Impact title.
But still, your champion lost.
Yeah.
Clean shoulder. And he's just not looking very good.
He didn't lose clean, bro.
He's not looking very good to me on AEW television. But yeah, it's what he's doing grand picture that makes him an elite.
Yeah.
It's him going to Mexico, him going to Impact. The idea of him maybe going to Japan, that's what's making him great in my eyes, but not what he's doing on AEW television. And it's just hopefully when Tony Khan kind of gets more under his belt and kind of figures out what he wants to tell and not just divert back to growing up what I liked, and he kind of gets more in the rhythm because I'm sure he has a lot on his plate, but not a draw, man.
Again,
not a draw.
I'm not going to bury the finish just because it's
Bryan Danielson is a big enough star where he could survive a loss.
No, yeah.
Kenny Omega is a big enough star where he could survive a loss. Like Kurt Angle always said, I don't care if I lose. I'm confident in myself where I could come back and that loss means nothing.
But all right. So, but now you set up the promos of them saying if I had just more time, if there was if time was the issue, this would have happened. So you see why they did it. If it's going to lead up to now, if it doesn't lead up to an Iron Man match, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna switch it up.
Iron Man match, please, and make it a double or nothing in Vegas so we can be there in person. So I can witness that. I got goosebumps, bro.
If that doesn't happen, then I get annoyed. But I will say one positive thing because I don't even think we're gonna get through this card.
But then look at.
But let me just say one more thing.
Yeah.
Leading up to. If you watch Kenny Omega's promos, they're probably the best promos he's had since he's been in AEW. Mm-hmm. We saw flashes of how Kenny can tell a story, but again, there wasn't enough time to tell the story.
Yeah. And honestly, I really do think that starting this off was, cool. Because I don't think I would have, if you would have the Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes stinker before this one, the crowd would have been dead.
Yeah.
And there's no fault to them. Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. You're starting to see how, like, they have no other way but to have these kind of interference finishes. And remember, it was clean booking. Now, he's getting more stars now. For some reason, they don't want to bury Ruby Soho just yet, so the interference and stuff like that. But you can't escape it. Tony Khan promised that we wouldn't have this type of stuff.
Yeah, and then
we're getting this type of stuff. The Jericho with the MJF, with the referee,
all that went interference, back.
Yeah. It's what it is.
I'm a big believer that you should never have a bunch of interferences. If an interference happens, it's going to be rare. I'm a big believer of that. If you can't, like you said, if you can't have one wrestler take a loss, then you're not doing your job right.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think Tony Khan has production issues, both story and when it comes to the live production. Yeah. I've always said that, and I agree with you. But yeah, these interference have to stop. Let's keep it real. Yeah. It has to stop. Someone has to take a loss. There's other ways to build a star. Stone Cold, for crying out loud, got over in a match he lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. And like you said, it's just, you said AEW wasn't going to be this, but it's turning to that. It's almost inevitable. Yeah. This is how wrestling's been booked. It's always going to be booked that way. Yeah. But they're just masking it by having these amazing matches. If Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega were never touch or talk to each other again until Double or Nothing, and you announce it's going to be an Iron Man match, I'm there.
Oh yeah,
because that's going to be a great match. 100%, and they could do that because that's what the niche is right now. They don't have to talk to each other, acknowledge. Bryan doesn't have to be on AEW television from now until next Memorial Day. And 100%. If they announce it's going to be an Iron Man match between him and Kenny Omega for the championship, I'm going to be there because I'm Mark.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, and Britt Baker's still one of the best wrestlers out there. So I didn't even see Night 2. I'm not a CM Punk fan.
I saw Night 2.
Wasn't enticing enough for me. And then I think I was interested until I saw the Super Click did that kiss on the cheek when our Jungle Boy was in the camel clutch. I was like, I'm not gonna watch it.
Bro, that's the new Too Sweet, bro. It's the new Too Sweet.
I get it. Super Click, good. Cool. I like Adam Cole. I'm a Mark too. So yeah, Dynamite. Congratulations again. It's only getting bigger. AEW, man. They're here.
Good wrestling. All right,
good wrestling. Good wrestling. Good soup. Round number 5, UFC. Unless you want to talk about Moxley.
No. Look.
Eddie Kingston, your boys.
Trust me, I don't mind taking another 5 minutes to bash Eddie Kingston and Moxley for such a trash ass match. If I hear death match this week one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit, Alex. I'm sick and tired of death matches. They suck. Those are for the lowest of the low, and you can quote me on that.
Well, you should have watched this week's The Dark Side of the Ring then, because they're gonna focus on FMW.
Don't even.
All right, we're gonna talk about Extreme Rules, and then that's it for the show. Coming up next,
5-round MMA.
Welcome back, 5th and final round. Talk about some real storytelling now.
Stop, Alex.
Some real psychology.
Alex, stop.
Production value.
You're really trying to get heat today, aren't you?
Divine intervention. Someone up we can't see is acknowledging the tribal chief. Roman Reigns is the head of the table. Someone with higher power is acknowledging that Roman Reigns needs to be the Universal Champion. But you know why? Because they squashed the demon.
Look.
Or they just undid the top turnbuckle a little bit. I don't know.
I could do with either or.
This is ridiculous, by the way. But I loved it, every minute of it.
I could accept Finn.
Higher power.
I could accept Finn Balor somehow resurrecting with the B. I'll take that. But then the higher power makes the rope. Either or. All right. I'm only gonna do it once.
Acknowledge.
Pick one and go with it.
Acknowledge.
But
a divine power, higher power, acknowledge Roman Reigns. I hope they go that route. They probably won't, because from now until Friday, they're probably gonna do something stupid.
And they'll probably not even mention it. They're going to forget about it.
They're not going to forget about it. Yeah. And then we won't see the demon
exactly.
forever.
We won't see the payoff, because that's what they do.
That's exactly
I will say this, though. If they roll with it.
Yeah, they won't, though.
It's good storytelling.
Yeah.
If they do it once, it just looks, at the end of the day, it looks stupid.
Yeah, Extreme Rules as a whole, the cool thing is to knock WWE right off the bat.
Look,
Regular rules, pay-per-view.
I'm a sound like those marks online, bro. I thought this was a stupid event. I thought all the matches suck. I did like the
United States Championship match. Damian Priest, Sheamus, and Jeff Hardy. That was a good match.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did like Sheamus. The way he approached that wrestling match was really genius of Sheamus. I didn't think he had it in him, to tell you the truth. But other than that, I think it was a stinker.
Yeah, I really wish that.
I think the Universal Women's is it Raw?
The Raw Women's.
That was trash. Against Alexa Bliss, I thought that was one of the worst matches I've seen. The New Day versus Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles. I thought they were gonna bring something fresh into that match. It looked like a Raw match to me.
Yeah, it was
the SmackDown Tag Team one, same thing. It seemed like another SmackDown match to me. And there's one more stinker in there. What was it? That's what it was. The Women's Championship with the Becky Lynch. Dude, no contest. You're over there telling me about AEW 50-50 booking.
I didn't say I liked that, man.
What was this trash?
I didn't say I liked it. Gotta bring Sasha Banks back in.
But, okay.
I'm not defending that. I didn't like that at all.
Here's the frustrating part to me. Is Bianca Belair a girl or not?
Well, I keep thinking too.
That's the part that just irks me. We started the year saying this is Bianca Belair's year, right? Becky Lynch is already an established star. I understand that you're using her to push, but then now we're gonna complicate it a little bit more and put Sasha Banks in there, then we're gonna do a bro.
You got the draft coming up.
What?
That's the only thing I can think of is the draft coming up. But none of that matters. None of that matters because there's a higher power that recognizes, that acknowledges the tribal chief, the head of the table. A higher power saved our tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
They better mention it.
From the demon.
I'm going to tell you right now. They dropped the... If they don't
a higher power. Divine snapped the top rope.
I swear, Paul Heyman, you better cut a good promo.
The only reason why...
SmackDown.
SmackDown. The only entity that could beat the demon was a higher power above him. And they're not going to acknowledge it, but damn, that was good. I can see what they're going, but they're going to drop it like they said. The crowd was hot for Liv Morgan. Hopefully they give her a push. She's really trying
and that
hard.
wasn't even in the pay-per-view. That was the kickoff show, right?
Kickoff match. It's there. The crowd's there.
Dude, Liv Morgan got a pop. And I think she had one of the coolest outfits out of the night, too.
The two biggest pops were for Liv Morgan and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I legit thought they were going to have Jeff Hardy win. Like, they should have called an audible.
You know what? Well, when the crowd's that hot, I almost feel like they somehow have to, no? That crowd would have went crazy if Jeff Hardy would have won.
If I'm Damian Priest, like, just pin me. I'll take the
heat.
I got Bad Bunny in my corner. I'm not gonna
I can come back up.
I'll take the heat. But I know that it's Jeff Hardy's... Hopefully now they kind of recognize Jeff Hardy's still a star 20 plus years later, man. I wonder if like Matt sees this and like, dang, I could never be that over.
Hey, let's keep
20 years, Jeff Hardy, dude. Gets that pop still.
But let's
what is it with that guy and the fans, man?
Let's not go around it. Jeff is the only wrestler in that group. Come on.
Yeah. I wonder
Matt wasn't known for his style, bro.
I wonder if that's what Cody Rhodes, when he sees like Goldust, like, dang, I could never be that over.
Cody's more over than Goldust. Stop it.
Never. Cody would never be any over.
With that said, good transition. I said I was going to mention this show when I get some important figures.
Higher power. Divine intervention. What is that?
AEW is going old school. They made these LJN figures. First one on the line is Cody. The only reason I got it was because it's the first one. The second one's going to be Darby Allin, which I'm probably going to pass on. I just got this one because it's the first one, but it's kind of cool. They don't move. It's like those old school wrestlers. So I thought that's kind of neat that they're going this route. I can't wait until the Kenny one comes out. Let me go to the line real quick before we finish the show.
Go for it.
Of course, I had to get my boy Kenny's unmatched figure. I'm digging the pants on this guy. The graphics look amazing. And, I got to support the raza, dog. They had, of course, the Cien Romero and Ray Phoenix, better known as Death Triangle, even though they don't come out.
You got the belt with them yet or no? Bro, you're all tangled up. What are you doing?
These guys don't come with the belt because it's prior to the belt, but they have that gold.
The gold trim, I like it.
Trim, which was actually one of my favorite outfits that they put together. The other one is if they come out with the Joker one, bro. I'm gonna order that thing online. I'm not even gonna risk it.
I also like how they take a little bit of liberties with Ray Phoenix's midsection.
Oh yeah,
he's a little soft in the middle because his figure is packing a six pack.
They always rip them up a little bit more. But yeah, I said I was gonna share when I get. I don't share everything because I have too much.
Yeah.
But we were gone for 2 weeks. I did go shopping, bro.
Solid buy. Except for that Cody one, I would probably just.
It's the first in the line.
Of course, it's the first. Who does he think he is? First in the line? Get out of here. Nobody's begging for a Cody toy.
If later on down the road, Kylo's like, bro, I need like $500 for prom. I'm gonna sell Cody.
$500. You get $5.
Dude, this is gonna get $500 later
from Cody himself.
Sell this. Give it to Kylo. He got prom money.
Yeah, you mentioned that we were off last week. Albert and I are working on another side project.
Yeah.
So
hopefully coming
completely
soon.
Unrelated to MMA and professional wrestling.
But go ahead and check out Off Cedar. Go ahead and just type that into YouTube. You can see our other projects. We have tons of projects, bro.
Offshoot of this. So that's it for this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in. Divine power, intervention, higher power. Recognize us as the head of the table for mixed martial arts and professional wrestling podcasts. This week's show, thank you to Wildbar and Foxhound Fuel. Go to foxhoundfuel.com, promo code 5MMA for 25% off order. Wildbar.co, promo code 5roundMMA15 for 50% off your order. A big thank you to both of them. Thank you to all of us. Thank you all of you guys for tuning in this week. Keep up to date with us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All 3 platforms. We're at 5roundMMA, FIVE Round MMA. Visit 5roundmma.com. On YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. Let us know how we're doing on all platforms. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If Albert is completely wrong about
let me know, bro.
The 30-minute Iron Man match, or
I am not, not wrong.
Or the draw. Let us know who's wrong or right on the draw thing. And if you believe there is a higher power, a divine intervention that recognizes the chief, the tribal chief, the head of the table, I want to get your best guesses, but more than likely they're not going to, like you said, acknowledge it. So, Albert, what do you got?
I just want to remind everybody, go ahead and hit that 5-star if you haven't already, and thanks for listening.
See you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in.